As John Lennon wisely said, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. These words remind us of the ephemeral nature of existence and the grand, unpredictable orchestra that is life. We are all conductors in this orchestra with our own unique melodies to contribute. But sometimes we get so caught up in composing our future symphonies that we forget to play the music of the present. Life, you see, is a series of moments. Each moment is a precious note in the melody of our existence. And while it's important to have a vision for the future, it's equally crucial to be present in the now, because that's where life truly happens. It's in the laughter shared with friends, the sunrise watched in solitude, the new recipe attempted, the random act of kindness performed. It's in the moments we often overlook while we're busy charting out our future. So how do we strike a balance? It's all about mindfulness, about being aware of each moment as it unfolds. It's about savoring the sweetness of the present, while also keeping an eye on the horizon. It's about understanding that while we cannot control every event in our lives, we can control our response to those events. And it's this response that defines our life's melody. Our plans are important, no doubt. They give us direction, purpose, a sense of control, but they are mere blueprints. Life, on the other hand, is a beautiful, unpredictable, sometimes messy, but always extraordinary masterpiece in progress. And it won't wait for us to be ready. It won't pause for us to catch up. It simply happens. So let's make plans, by all means, but let's also remember to live, to be present, to savor the moments that make up the symphony of our lives. Because, as Lennon reminded us, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So remember, don't just make plans, live your life. Be the conductor of your own symphony, the author of your own story, and make every note, every word count. Nelson Mandela, a symbol of resilience, once said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." This isn't merely a string of words strung together to sound profound. It's a philosophy, a way of life. It's about resilience and perseverance in the face of adversity. It's about understanding that life is not a straight path to success, but a winding road filled with obstacles. You see, failure is a part of life, an inevitable aspect of the human experience. We all stumble, we all fall, but it's not about the fall. It's about what happens next. It's about rising up, dusting ourselves off, and pressing forward. It's about learning from our mistakes and growing stronger with each setback. The beauty of this quote lies in its universal applicability. Whether you're an athlete who lost a game, an entrepreneur whose business didn't take off, or a student who didn't get the grade, the principle remains the same. Each failure is not a dead end, but a detour. It's a stepping stone to success, a lesson in disguise. Because let's face it, nobody is perfect. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. We all have our moments of doubt and insecurity, but that's okay. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us real. And it's in these moments of vulnerability, in these moments of defeat, that we discover our true character. It's in these moments that we find the strength to rise again, to keep going, to never give up. So, remember, the greatest glory in living doesn't lie in never falling. It lies in rising every time we fall. It lies in our ability to transform failure into success, to turn obstacles into opportunities, to find hope in despair. So, don't fear failure. Instead, rise every time you fall. Because every fall is a chance to rise higher. Every setback is a chance to come back stronger. And every failure is a chance to achieve greater glory. So let's embrace the falls, the mistakes, the failures. They are our greatest teachers, our stepping stones to success. So, don't fear failure. Instead, rise every time you fall. Steve Jobs, one of the most influential innovators of our time, warned us, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." How profound yet simple is this statement? It is a reminder, a nudge, a wake-up call that each moment we have is precious and finite. But more than that, it's a rallying cry for authenticity, for being true to who we are, for following our own path, our own dreams, and not being swayed by the expectations or dictates of others. Imagine for a moment a world where everyone lived someone else's life. A world where we all wore masks, hiding our true selves, suppressing our unique talents, our individual quirks, our distinct voices. Would that not be a gray, monotonous world, devoid of color, creativity, or diversity? It would be like a symphony where all the instruments played the same note. But life is not a single note. Life is a symphony, a glorious, cacophonous symphony of diverse notes, rhythms, and melodies. And each of us, with our unique talents, our distinct voices, our individual quirks, is a vital part of that symphony. When we live authentically, when we follow our own path, when we listen to our own inner voice, we not only add to the richness and diversity of that symphony, but we also find fulfillment, joy, and purpose. We find that our life, our unique, one-of-a-kind life, matters. It matters not just to us, but to the world. So let's heed Steve Jobs' advice. Let's not waste our limited time living someone else's life. Let's not be swayed by the expectations or dictates of others. Let's not hide our true selves behind masks. Let's live our own lives, follow our own paths, listen to our own inner voices. Let's be authentic, be true, be us. Because at the end of the day, our time is limited, and it's too precious, too valuable, too important to waste living someone else's life. So live your life, not someone else's. Helen Keller, despite all her challenges, believed that life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Now let's sit with that for a moment. How would our lives change if we truly embraced this mindset? If we saw each day not as a repeat of yesterday, but as a fresh opportunity for exploration, discovery, and growth. If we stopped fearing failure and instead saw it as a stepping stone on the path to success, life, in essence, is an adventure. It's a journey filled with twists and turns, highs and lows, joys and sorrows. It's a series of moments that, when pieced together, create a unique story that is entirely our own. But like any good adventure, it requires bravery. It demands that we step out of our comfort zones, that we push our boundaries, that we dare to do the things that scare us. There's a certain thrill in venturing into the unknown, in taking risks and facing challenges head-on. It's that rush of adrenaline when we conquer a fear, achieve a goal, or overcome an obstacle. It's the feeling of accomplishment when we look back and see how far we've come, how much we've grown, how much we've learned. But more than just the thrill, living life as an adventure is about embracing change, about welcoming new experiences and opportunities with open arms. It's about seeking out the extraordinary in the ordinary, about finding joy in the journey, not just the destination. It's about making the most of every moment, about living fully and passionately. And yet it's also about understanding that adventures aren't always grand or exciting. Sometimes they're quiet and subtle, like a shift in perspective, a change in routine, a new friendship. But no matter how big or small, every adventure adds a new layer to our life, a new chapter to our story. So let's dare to live, let's dare to dream, to explore, to learn, to grow. Let's dare to step out of our comfort zones, to take risks, to face our fears. Let's dare to make our life a daring adventure, because in the end, it's either that or nothing at all. So dare to live an adventurous life. As we wrap up, remember the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson: "Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." These words echo the call for us to be pioneers, to embrace the unfamiliar, to venture into the unknown, and to create our own paths. What does it mean to forge your own path? It's about leaving the comfort of the known, breaking free from the shackles of conformity, and daring to be different. It's about having the courage to make choices that might seem unconventional, yet hold the promise of unique experiences and lessons. When you choose to go where there is no path, you're choosing to be a trailblazer, a leader, a game changer. You're choosing to challenge the status quo, to question the norms, and to redefine what's possible. You're choosing to step out of the shadows and stand in the light of your own truth. But it's not just about blazing a trail for yourself. It's also about leaving a trail for others to follow. It's about making a difference, leaving a legacy, and inspiring others to step out of their comfort zones too. It's about sparking a chain reaction of courage, creativity, and change. So let's not be confined by the path that's already there. Let's not be limited by what's been done before. Let's dare to dream bigger, to aim higher, to push harder. Let's dare to be the architects of our own destiny, to paint our own canvas, to write our own story. The path less traveled might be fraught with challenges and uncertainties. It might require us to take risks, to make sacrifices, to endure setbacks. But it's also the path that leads to the most rewarding journeys, the most beautiful destinations, the most memorable adventures. So, as we step into the future, let's remember that it's not about where the path may lead. It's about where we choose to go. It's about the trails we blaze, the footprints we leave, the marks we make. So, don't just follow the path, leave a trail.
What's your next step towards greatness? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to reach new heights. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of your dreams.